Hey there, this is Red. It's time for another Red reveal. So super excited today. Marvel Champions Rise of the Red Skull has landed on my doorstep and I'm ready to open it. So I wanted to show, I was just kind of impressed with this. I'm a subscriber to the Team Covenant thing. You can sign up for a subscription, and if you get on their list, then automatically when the next like hero pack comes out or scenario pack or small set comes out, that they will send it to you. You have to get on their list and they'll automatically bill you and send you the next one as it comes out. So it's a really cool thing. And they try to link that up with the amount of product that they've got coming in so they can guarantee that everybody on the list is going to get one. What I thought was amazing was if you look at how this fits in here, this is the box that they sent it in, right? And it's just a perfect fit for the Rise of the Red Skull box. Like there's no extra room whatsoever. It is amazing how well that fits in there. I don't know how they achieved that. I assume that comes from a long time shipping Fantasy Flight product, but they nailed it. Like there's no extra room whatsoever. So pretty cool. Anyway, let's get into the box here. Let's see what we got. So we got Rise of the Red Skull. Woohoo! And we're September 4th, so I think we're the official date at this point in time. So let's see here. You won't bring me to heal. Time may do it, but never one such as yourself. I am of a kind that dares to seize the throat of the world. Johann Schmidt, the Red Skull. So we've got a giant size 265 card expansion. Pits you and your friends against the villainous Red Skull and the forces of Hydra, and a host of cold-blooded mercenaries working in their service. The Rise of the Red Skull features 5 all-new, all-different interconnected scenarios that weave a tale of action and adventure that will challenge even the hardiest of heroes. Will you survive the gauntlet, stand tall, and resist the rise of the Red Skull? So we've got 5 new scenarios featuring Crossbones, Absorbing Man, Taskmaster, Arnim Zola, and the Red Skull. So it says that you're going to need the core set in order to play this, so it's not a standalone set. So we've got Hawkeye, Spider-Woman set in there. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to open this up. I'll probably open the hero stuff first, and we'll see what's in there. And then after that, I will open up the villain stuff that's in here. Because what I don't want to do is I don't want to spoil for people that are interested in playing the scenario. I think I'll try to open up the heroes and show the heroes because I don't think that will spoil the adventure that's in here. So, all right, let's see what's in the box. Because I'm super excited here. Let's see what we've got. We've got rule book, fairly standard here. Oh, it's got nice comic action going on in here. So we've got some explanation, new keywords, insight, permanent, piercing, ranged, setup. So insight, when a card with insight is revealed, place X threat on the main scheme. Permanent, a card with permanent cannot leave play. Piercing, discards any tough status card from the target of the attack before dealing damage. You have ranged, which ignores retaliate. And set up a card with the setup keyword begins the game in play. So there's a few of those setup cards already, so we're all right with that keyword. The other ones are neat, interesting, and new. So then we've got look like some campaign mode rules. We've got the set symbol, which is a little Hydra symbol there, and there's some comic-y stuff going on in here. So then we've got scenarios. It looks like there's a scenario 1, 2. I should probably skip by those pretty fast. If you don't want to know, look away right now, or look away a couple of minutes ago. So there we go. We've got some expert campaign, and then you're into the credits. So it's got a starter deck. It looks like the Hawkeye is a leadership deck, and Spider-Woman, who gets to do 2 aspects, is aggression and justice. So that's very interesting. All right. Oh, and it looks like some sort of campaign log here. So way cool. All right, what else we got in here? We have a piece of cardboard, always good to get in a set. And then we have decks of cards. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 decks of cards. And let's guarantee there's no like special hidden card underneath there for your special bonus. Nope. Looks like things should sit in here pretty nice. Yep, you got fold-up flaps to help divide things. And there we go. So we're going to take this box, we're going to move this out of the way. Boom. All right. I say let's set that up in the corner there. There we go. Oh, we should probably grab just a second. There's a reference jackalope, so if you need size, that's what the box size was in reference to the jackalope. So, okay, we'll get him out of the way. Anyway, moving on, let's take a look at our hero decks first. I think we'll go there first, and then we've got some villainy stuff here, and I will leave the villainy stuff until the end. So if you don't want to know about the villains, then you can tune out before I start opening those packs. But let's take a look at Spider-Woman or Hawkeye. Which first? I think we'll go with Hawkeye first. So let's pop open the Hawkeye pack here and see what we come up with. All right, let's put Hawkeye under the close-up cam here. There we go. So we've got Hawkeye. He's got 1 thwart, 2 attack, and 1 defense. Quick draw, action, exhaust Hawkeye, and ready his bow. So he's got a hand size of 5 and 9 hit points. So he's low on the hit point side. We've got his alter ego, Clint Barton, awesome car. He's got 3 recovery. Then weapon of choice, spend 1 resource of any type, search your deck and discard pile for Hawkeye's bow, and add it to your hand. Then shuffle your deck. Nice. All right, so we're going to flip through cards now. Got Hawkeye's bow. It's a restricted card. Gets +1 attack, and each of your arrows gains ranged. Nice. Hawkeye's quiver. You may play arrow events attached to this card as if they were in your hand. Hero action, exhaust Hawkeye's quiver. Search the top 5 cards of your deck for an arrow event and attach it face up to this card. Cool, so you can throw arrows in the quiver. Who would have guessed it? You've got a Mockingbird as part of the ally deck. When the villain initiates an attack against you, spend 1 resource of any type, return Mockingbird to your hand. Prevent all damage from this attack. That's nice. The prevent all damage from this attack is better than, like I just did a talk about Rhino. So Rhino comes at you and charges with the overkill and everything else. That's pretty nice that you can just straight up prevent all of that damage. Very cool. Might actually play with her rather than the other Mockingbird. Well, I guess in this deck you have to play with her other than the regular Mockingbird. All right, so let's see this is the first of our arrows. It looks like we get 2 of them. So we've got a sonic arrow, exhaust Hawkeye's bow, confuse an enemy and deal 3 damage to it. 5 damage if it's already confused. Oh, look at that quote there. Isn't that an amazing quote? There you go. I wonder how they came up with that one. Sonic arrow. All right, explosive arrows. So Hawkeye's bow, exhaust the bow, deal 3 damage to a villain and each minion engaged with that player. Ooh, that's a nice area effect. How many of those are there? Is there 2? There's 2 of those. Wow. Okay, so I don't feel so bad about taking Hawkeye out as one of your allies if you've got explosive arrow. That's kind of nice. All right, 2 of those. So we're halfway through Hawkeye's basic deck there. We've got electric arrow, which is exhaust Hawkeye's bow, stun an enemy, and deal 3 damage to it. 5 damage instead if it's already stunned. Cool. So mix him up with Iron Fist, maybe. And then we have a cable arrow. So exhaust Hawkeye's bow, remove 3 threat from a scheme, ignoring any crisis icons in play. That's very nice. It's not too often that I've played that the crisis icons have been a real problem, but when they are a super annoying problem, and to be able to ignore them is very cool. Now, the thing that I'm seeing here is we're seeing lots of arrows, and they all exhaust the bow. So you're not going to be able to play tons of arrows per turn, it's looking like. So exhaust Hawkeye's bow, deal 6 damage to an enemy. That attack gains piercing. So we get to take the tough status off of somebody. There you go. You know what that is? That's the anti-Tiger Shark card right there. The arrow says Tiger Shark on the end of it. So there we go. All right, there's 2 of those. And we've got Expert Marksman. I don't know that I want to be riding a motorcycle, but exhaust Expert Marksman, generate a wild resource for an arrow event. All right. There's 2 of those, so you can get those sitting out there. All right, so let me go back through our Hawkeye basic cards here. +1 attack for each arrow. There's a quiver, you can put stuff in there. We've got Mockingbird, we've got 2 sonic arrows. We've got 2 explosive arrows. We have 2 electric arrows, 2 cable arrows, 2 vibranium arrows, and a couple of upgrades. So what we're seeing is arrows, 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 arrows. So that's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 arrows. I guess the thing that I wonder about that is you get Hawkeye's bow out there. You're going to have to tap it to use one of those arrows. But I guess you get to exhaust Hawkeye and you can ready your bow again. So you can do 2, maybe more. Maybe you can find other ways. I guess there's some things that allow you to untap Avengers. It looks like you're going to be kind of capped at 2 arrows per round normally. So we'll see how that works out. All right, so I'm going to pick these up here real fast. Let's get back to going through the rest of the Hawkeye cards that came here. So I'm really interested in how these characters also help the other aspects, right? So here's our leadership cards that come with Hawkeye. We've got Kate Bishop, the new Hawkeye. Exhaust this ally, discard 1 card from your hand, deal X number of damage to an ally, where X is the printed resources on that card. That's very nice in that she's not taking any consequential damage by doing that. Pretty cool. And that would be good in that, throw a Heimdall in there or something like that. Nah, high cost cards. Black Knight. Black Knight gains basic. Black Knight's basic attack gains piercing. Nice. Goliath. Goliath gets +4 attack until the end of phase. At the end of the phase, discard Goliath. So he's taking 2 consequential damage when he attacks for 1. So your first attack is going to knock him down to 2, and then you can give him a big boost. And he attacks for 5 maybe. And if you can make him untap and go again, like you have things that untap Avengers and allow them to attack again, he could be a beast for a round there. All right, U.S. Agent. Retaliate 1. After this character is attacked, deal 1 damage to attacking character. Okay, so he's just an ally with a Retaliate. So he's got 5 health and a cost of 3, plus he's got Retaliate. Very nice. Gives you a reason to keep a ally around, because usually you just kind of jump block with them and expect 1 block and they'll be gone. But there's reason maybe you'd put toughness on him or try to keep him around with that Retaliate. Interesting. Sky Cycle, attached to an Avenger, max 1 per ally. Attached ally gets aerial. I don't know how much good that does any ally out there right now. And then exhaust Sky Cycle, ready an ally. So there we go. If Goliath's on the Sky Cycle, he can write it down. It's pretty cool. There's 2 of those, 3 of those in there. Guess we're all about the Sky Cycle in this deck. All right. Team Training, playing under any player's control. Max 1 per player. Each ally you control gets +1 hit point. Right. That's a nice card. You can only have 1 out, but that's pretty cool. I mean, that's a perfect fit for the leadership deck. Gross. Ready for action. Hero action. Give an ally you control a tough status card. There we go. That's what we need for U.S. Agent there. Keep him around. It only costs 1. And it's funny, it's got a Jessica Drew Spider-Woman on there, but it's in our Hawkeye leadership deck. All right, lead from the front, which we already got in other sets. Choose a player, each character. That player control gets +1 fort and +1 attack until the end of phase. And we have 2 of those in there, 2 of those in there. And not surprisingly, there's a power of leadership in here. Wait, there's 2 powers of leadership in here. Should not be a shock. All right, we've got War Machine in there. He's going to get tough, and his basic attacks get ranged. So he's got 2 thwart and 2 attack. Very nice. Avengers Tower, which we have another set. Exhaust Avengers Tower, reduce cost of next Avenger ally in play by 1 and increases your ally limit by 1. Earth's Mightiest Heroes. It's a new basic card. Exhaust an Avenger character you control, ready another event. There is your multi-attack Goliath, right? So you could get 3 or 4 Avengers out there, give Goliath that +4 and just go to town. Well, I guess you have to worry about the consequential damage there, but he could do multiple attacks and be pretty mean. All right, we got 1, 2, 3 of those, or I guess that's the other way to get Hawkeye firing off more arrows, right? And it would not hurt your allies to do that. So let me guess, there's an energy, a strength, and a genius in here. Oh, yep, we have all 3. And then there's our obligation. Give to the Clint Barton player. You may flip to alter ego form, exhaust Clint Barton, remove the card from the game, discard Hawkeye's bow, discard this obligation. All right, that's fairly standard. The get the bow is an interesting aspect of that, but that's pretty standard with the exhaust Barton, remove the card from the game. All right, so our nemesis is Crossfire, who has Quick Strike, and his attacks gain piercing. If the boost resolves during an attack, the attack itself gains piercing. All right, so kind of an anti-tough villain there. Marked for Death. When revealed, Clint Barton player searches their hand, deck, discard pile, and play area from Mockingbird and places her face up underneath the card. When this stage is defeated, return Mockingbird to her owner's hand. That's pretty cool. So that's kind of like a damsel in distress side scheme. You're going to grab Mockingbird out and put her out there underneath, marked for death. I like that. That seems very thematic to me. I'm highly in favor of that type of thing. That's kind of cool. Now, honestly, Mockingbird can help herself, but I think that plays well into just this hero and the things around that. I mean, it's a neat story element, I think. All right, so then we've got Crossfire's rifle, attached to Crossfire, or attach it to the villain. That's interesting. So the villain can get this, and then they would get ranged. That's pretty cool. And then Sniper Shot, 3 threat on the main scheme, or deal 3 damage to a hero. Ow, that hurts. Now, luckily it's only got 1 boost icon, but that is pretty nasty. That's a rough treachery. All right. There we go. So we've got Hawkeye. Hawkeye's looking pretty cool. I like the leadership thing. How many allies do we have in here? We've got 1, and she's an Avenger. 2 Avenger, 3 Avenger, 4 Avenger, 5 Avenger. So we've got 5 Avengers. Any more? Any more in there? 6 Avengers. So we got 6 Avengers in here. That's pretty good. With the cards with the Avengers Tower, potentially get 4 of them out. I can see we're going to tweak this deck and throw other stuff from other sets in there. All right, so we've gone through Hawkeye. Let's take a look at Spider-Woman now. So a lot of people are really interested in Spider-Woman because she's dual aspect, which is kind of a new thing. And she's got the spy keyword is what I'm seeing. Here we go. So we've got Spider-Woman. 1 thwart, 1 attack, 1 defense. So just by herself, not all that impressive. Hand size 5. Ouch. Hit points 11. Okay, that's all right. What do we have there? Superhuman agility. Interrupt. When you play an aspect card, Spider-Woman gets +1, +1, +1. So across the board, she gets +1 until the end of round. So I'm guessing that's, limit once per round for each aspect. So if you play an aggression, then you play the leadership, she's going to be 3s across the board. So that's pretty cool. That's going to mean that before you do her action, you're going to need to play the cards, which sometimes can come into play. But that will be interesting. And the other thing is you're not going to be able to play them on your alter ego side. You would have to play them once Spider-Woman's flipped and then play the cards in order to get those bonuses. So interesting character. All right, Jessica Drew on the alter ego side. She's a Shield spy also. I think Spider-Woman was Shield's Avenger spy. So we've got spy on both sides. That's cool. Jessica Drew. Double agent. Choose 2 aspects instead of 1 during deck building. You must include an equal number of cards from those aspects in your deck. Look at the top card of any deck. Limit once per round. That's cool. I like that. So you can check out either yours or the villain deck to see what's coming up. Nice. That's a nice alter ego power. So hand size 6, 11 hit points. All right, hand size 5, 11 hit points. All right, let's move her out of the way. There's Spider-Woman. All right, Captain Marvel is interesting. Got Captain Marvel as an ally, as our signature ally. After Captain Marvel uses a basic power, draw 1 card. That's pretty powerful ability right there. I'm liking that. All right, Finesse. Hero resource. Exhaust Finesse. Generate a wild resource for an aspect card. Okay. And you got 2 of those. Jessica Drew's apartment, which costs 1. Alter ego action. Exhaust Jessica Drew's apartment. Search the top 5 cards of your deck for an aspect card and add it to your hand. Shuffle your deck. All right, so you get to do some deck sifting there. Nice. Venom Blast. Hero action. Deal 5 damage to an enemy. This counts as both a Spider-Woman card and an aggression card. Okay, so that's cool in that the things that say you need an aspect, like just the last thing that we saw, right? So normally, if you were going to go looking for an aspect card, like you were Hawkeye, Hawkeye's signature cards wouldn't count. But for that, this is going to count. Plus, it's going to give Spider-Woman her +1/+1/+1 when you do that. So very nice. All right, so it's 5 damage to an enemy. That's a pretty decent attack. 2 for 5 is okay. I think that beats out Uppercut, right? Uppercut's what, 3 for 5 if I remember right? So that's better. All right, so that was an aggression card. This one's a leadership card. We've got Pheromones. Stun and confuse an enemy. Wow, that is super powerful. Now, I'm not exactly sure how that relates to leadership exactly, because I think you'd be doing some sort of ally thing, but stun and confuse for 2 is really nice. All right. And we've got different aspects, so it's not just 2 aspects in her deck. We're into our 3rd one, right? We're into protection here. So we've got heal 3 damage from Spider-Woman, give her a tough status card. So we've got a bunch of them that set up stuff right now. We've got inconspicuous, remove a total of 3 threat among schemes in play. That's pretty cool. So it doesn't have to be just from one scheme. You can pick and choose. And that one's a justice card for 1 for 3 threat. And you can spread it out. I think that's an amazing card. Self-propelled glide, hero action. Ready Spider-Woman, she gains aerial until the end of the round. I don't think we've seen anything that gives a bonus for aerial in her stuff yet. And notice this one doesn't say anything about counting as an aspect card. So interesting. And there's 2 of those in there. 3 of those in there. All right. The nice thing is it's a ready Spider-Woman, so we get to go again with her. All right, so that's the end of our Spider-Woman card. So let's grab those out here and let's lay them out on the table real fast here. So we've got Spider-Woman, we've got Captain Marvel, we've got Finesse, Jessica Drew's apartment, we got a Venom Blast and a Venom Blast, Pheromones, Contaminant Immunity, Inconspicuous, and 3 self-propelled glides. So we've got 3 kind of get ready cards here. And just double checking, I don't think I see anything else that gives you a bonus for being aerial out here. So that's interesting. Exhaust Finesse, generate a resource for an aspect card. So the Finesse is really going to work for, these also count as aspect cards, so it feeds into that. Jessica Drew's apartment's going to feed into that. Really, this makes you not want to put basic cards in your deck, which is another interesting thing. But if you've got 15 cards, right, you have to put an even number of aspect cards in there. So I guess if you do your 3 that are your double resources, then you would have an even number. So you'd be at 15, then 18, right? So that would leave you with, oh, I have to do math now. So then, well, anyway, you would be at 18, and that would leave you with an even number that you could split between the two aspects. So you could go all two aspects for the last set of cards. So interesting. All right, so let's pick these up, get these out of here. I think the correct answer there is 22, but my brain's not working in that level right now. Do we have 22 cards here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, nope. 22, right there. Okay. Yes, 22 is the right number. There we go. All right, so we've got Spider-Girl. Aggression. So it looks like our default two things that we're coming at is aggression and leadership. All right, so 1 thwart, 2 attack. After you play Spider-Girl from your hand, stun and confuse a minion. That's interesting. There's not a whole lot of minions that I would especially think we need to stun and confuse, although Ronan has changed that opinion drastically recently. We've got combat training, 2 combat trainings, and tack team, which we've seen before from the base set, right? That's 3 counters that do damage. Combat training increases your attack by 1. There's a new card, press the advantage. So deal 2 damage to an enemy if that enemy is stunned or confused. Draw 1 card. And we've got a lot of things that enhance that, so that works out well. It's a good combo card with what we've got out there. 2, 3 of those. Piercing Strike. Hero action, deal 3 damage to an enemy. That attack gains piercing, which means that the tough status is going to go away before we do the attack. So that's very cool. 2 for 3, but you get rid of tough. So I guess one of the things I'm looking at there is in a, and it's got Thor on it, in a Thor and Hulk deck where you're getting 2 cards sometimes and you're looking at low cost attacks, things like tough and stun really mess you up. So having something like piercing strike will be nice to get through the tough. There's 3 of those. All right. Ooh, we have Spider-Man. So 2 thwart, 2 attack. After you play Spider-Man from your hand, remove 3 per player threat from a side scheme. Oh, that's really nice. So that gets rid of your Immortal Claw, right? Right off the bat there. I like it. I like it. 5 is pretty expensive for an ally, but he's got 2 thwart and 2 attack for 4. So I think the cost balances out with the abilities that he's got because he's looking pretty powerful. All right, what do we got? And we got, that's interesting. So you've got 2. Wow, that's kind of a strange deck build. So 2 combat and 2 heroic intuitions in there. So, yeah, I don't know about that. I don't know that I would build it that way, but I can see why they do that when they issue the decks this way, right? So you're looking at a 2-player, maybe you get 1 to each person. Interesting. All right. Moving on. Skilled Investigator, 0 cost upgrade. Play under any player's control, 1, max 1 per player. After a side scheme is defeated, exhaust Skill Investigator, draw 1 card. So there are some things out there where that, some scenarios where that would be a very nice card to have out there. Even like I was recently playing some custom content like Dinosaurus would be good to have to use against that. Claw might be a lot of fun to get some of the stuff out of there. I like that card, and it's 0. It's a 0 cost upgrade, so it's going to sit out there. Cool. That's a nice Justice card. All right, Interrogation Room, which we've seen before. Defeat a minion, remove a threat from a scheme. Clear the area, that's a new one. So hero action, thwart, remove 2 threat from a scheme. If this removes the last threat from a scheme, draw 1 card. Ah, okay, that's cool because it gives you the bonus to get a card if you're clearing. I like that. I like that a lot. For 1, that's a nice card. I can see playing that in Justice decks. That will be in many a Justice deck, I think. 1 for 2 plus potentially getting a card. Yeah. All right, so then we've got our 3 double resources, of course, are in there. All right, so then over to our Nemesis. And what do we have here? We've got Uncertain Loyalties. So give to the Jessica Drew player. So you are going to exhaust Jessica Drew, remove Uncertain Loyalties from the game. Pretty standard. Place 3 threat on the main scheme and discard this obligation. Ouch. Okay, so if you're defending with Jessica Drew, then you've got the ability to end up having to throw 3 threat on the main scheme. That could be pretty rough there. So kind of got to wonder about a Protection Spider-Woman deck. If you can't keep her readied, that's going to be a nasty cost right there. All right, what do we got here? We've got the Viper. Elite Hydra. When the Viper is engaged with you, your hand size is reduced by 1. Ouch! Ooh, that's an evil, evil thing. Wow. Okay, she's got 2 scheme and 2 attack. And she's got 3 boost icons. That's a nasty nemesis right there. All right, what do we have for Viper's Ambition? Revealed, place an additional threat here. It's just giving you another card. So that's not a horrible side scheme. That's fairly standard. We got some Hydra Regulars, which have Insight. When this card is revealed, place 1 threat on the main scheme, and you've got 2 of those. That's an interesting effect. They're not all that tough. They got 2 attack and 2 health, so they're not all that bad, but that Insight aspect is a neat twist. I like that. Also, that's going to be interesting for things like Thor's ability to go dig for enemies out of the deck. Like, do you really want to dig for an enemy if they're going to throw a threat on the main scheme when you bring them out? I don't know. Could be interesting. Hail Hydra. When revealed, each Hydra minion engaged with the hero attacks that hero. Each player who is not attacked this way searches the encounter deck and discard pile for a Hydra minion and puts it in play, engage with them, shuffle the encounter deck. Ooh. All right, that's pretty mean. I like that one. I like it. I like it. I like the Spider-Woman deck. I like all the cards that go in there. I'm having 2 combat trainings in there and 2 heroic intuition seems a bit weird, and I will not play it that way when I play it, but I understand why they do that when they issue the deck. So my favorite of the 2 decks thus far, Hawkeye. I think Hawkeye is the win. I like Hawkeye. All right, so we've gone through the hero decks at this point in time. So next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start opening up some of the bad guy cards. So if you want to not know anything about the scenarios that are in the box, then you probably want to shut off now and go do something else, then come back later. But right now I'm going to open those because I'm interested in those. And for those of you that are sticking around, I think this is going to be a lot of fun. So let's see what we've got here. We've got Crossbones is on the front of that. We have Taskmaster on the front of that one. And this says Red Skull. So I'm assuming we start with Crossbones. So let's open up Crossbones and see what Crossbones says. Let's see here. Let's go through. All right, we're going to stop at Absorbing Man. So we've got Crossbones. We've got Absorbing Man. And then we've got Taskmaster, which goes on top of here. All right, so let's take a look at Crossbones. All right, so we got Crossbones. 1 scheme, 1 attack. That's not too bad. Well, Crossbones has a weapon attachment. His attack gains piercing. Discard any tough status cards from the target before dealing damage. All right, he's got 12 hit points, so not too horrible. That looks like an all right one. And I'm not sure like what he's getting for weapons attachment, so I imagine we will see. When revealed, search the encounter deck and discard pile 4 Crossbones machine gun and attach it to Crossbones. Shuffle the encounter deck. And we're going from, what are we going up here? We're going 1-1 up to 2-2, which is a significant jump. And his health points go up to 14. And we go to 2-3. And when revealed, reveal the top card of the experimental weapons deck. Oh, what is this experimental weapons deck? Let's see here. Oop, I'm bumping stuff. All right, so contents, Crossbones 1, Crossbones 2, experimental weapons in the standard encounter set, 3 modular encounter sets, Hydra Patrol, Weapon Master, Legions of Hydra. Interesting, so you're going to do 3 modular encounter sets in the standard set. Nice. Create the experimental weapons deck and set it next to the main scheme deck. So this is going to be kind of like a I did a playthrough for some custom content, and the Prowler had a side deck. So I think it's going to be kind of like that. When revealed, reveal the top card of the experimental weapons deck. Cool. And it's only got 3, so that's going to go by pretty dang quick. All right, so what happens after that? So we've got attack on Mount Athena, and then we have the Infinity Stone, which says, let's start over here. So we're getting the Infinity Stone. Reveal the top card of the experimental weapons deck. So we're going to toss out another experimental weapons deck card. And then we have the getaway. So you're getting the Infinity Stone and then you're taking off. You're beating feet. So at that point in time, reveal the top card of the weapons deck. So you're getting 3 cards from the weapons deck. And then you lose. All right. All right, so this one is our Crossbones cards that are going in. So we've got Crossbones Machine Gun. Attached to Crossbones uses 2 ammo counters per player. When Crossbones attacks you, remove an ammo counter from this card and discard the top card of the encounter deck. Take indirect damage equal to the number of boost icons on the discarded card. Cool, so he's going to have some bullets, and his bullets are going to add additional damage that you have to figure out how to disperse them amongst yourself. I like it. Crossbones armor. Attached to Crossbone. He's going to give him a scheme and an attack. Wow. When Crossbones would take any amount of damage, place it here. Instead, if there are 5 or more damage here, discard Crossbones armor. So that's kind of like Rhino's suit. It's got 3 boost icons. Yikes. All right, Hydra Bombers we've seen before. Played against many a Hydra Bomber. We've got 2 Hydra Bombers in the deck there. Full auto. When revealed, Alter Ego Surge. When revealed Hero, discard X cards from the top of the encounter deck where X is Crossbones attack. Take 1 indirect damage for each boost icon discarded this way. Ooh, that could be really bad. Wow. Okay. I can see where that's going to potentially get pretty nasty, and there's a couple of them in there. Hard as Nails. When revealed, give the villain a tough status card. If you cannot, heal 3 damage from it instead. And as a boost, it says give the villain a tough status card if you cannot heal 3 damage instead. Wow. All right, we've got Raid in the Armory. In Sight 1, when this card is revealed, place 1 threat on the main scheme. And then when revealed, discard cards from the top of the encounter deck until a weapon attachment is discarded. Reveal this card. All right, so that's going to feed into the things like full auto, right? Yeesh. All right, we got a couple of those. Crossbones is looking like fun. All right, Crossbones Assault. When defeated, Crossbones activates against the player who defeated this scheme. Oh, that's an interesting twist that we haven't seen before. I don't think anything else does that. So you take that out of there, and he essentially gets a free attack or a free scheme on you. Nice. And you want to get it out of there because it's got that acceleration token on it. Oh, there's 2 of them. Oh, nasty. All right. Cornered Staff. Hydra is rounding up Pegasus staff to hold as hostages. So discard number of player per card from the top of the encounter deck. Place 1 additional threat here for each boost icon on cards discarded this way. Okay. That's not all that concerning, I guess. It's interesting. It's interesting that it's per player too, so that's going to scale pretty well. So I like that card. All right, so that's the end of our Crossbones stack of cards. So that was the Crossbones set. Now we're into his experimental weapons. So we have a laser rifle, and it looks like you're going to get one every time Crossbones flips up. So attached to the villain, force interrupt when attached villain attacks. The attack gains ranged. Spend a couple and discard this card. All right, that was not all that bad. Annoying, but not horrible. And we have Energy Shield attached to the villain. Villain gets Retaliate. Spend a couple, discard this card. And Power Gauntlets. After the villain attacks and damages you, discard a card from your hand. Oh, I hate that one. That's the Radioactive Man one. That one's evil. Spend 2 to get rid of it as a hero action. And then the exosuit. Attached to the villain, spend 3 to discard this card. It's giving him +1 scheme and +1 attack. So take these cards and you combine them with stuff like the full auto there, and he can do some pretty gross stuff. Wow. I like it. I like these little side attachments stuff. I really liked, it reminds me some of that, the Prowler custom content that's out there, and I really like that deck. So I think Crossbones is pretty cool. I like it. All right, so let's take a look at Absorbing Man now. And what we didn't see was it talks about a bunch of modular sets. We haven't seen any of the modular sets for Crossbone yet, but ideally we'll get to them. All right, so let's take a look at Absorbing Man. What do we have for Absorbing Man here? We have, let's get him on the screen. There we go, Absorbing Man. Gains a trait of each environment in play. So we have yet to see environments, but I'm sure that will be interesting. He's got 1 scheme and 2 attack. And 14 hit points. He's got a decent amount of hit points going on there. So then we move up. Let's see how we scale. So we're going to go 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 3. All right. So we have Absorbing Man gains the trait of each environment in play. And then when revealed, if Absorbing Power is in play, deal 1 encounter card to each player. Otherwise, search the encounter deck and discard palette for Super Absorbing Power and reveal it. Shuffle the encounter deck if it was searched this way. So that's interesting in that usually in a lot of these, if the card's already out there, nothing happens. But I like that they've incorporated a thing where if it's already out there, you're just leaving it because you know when number 2 is going to come out that he's going to get it anyway. This is going to force something to happen if it's already out there. So I like that piece of that card. All right, number 3, we have Force Response. After Absorbing Man activates against you, if he has ice or stone, place a threat on the main scheme. If he has metal or wood, take 1 indirect damage. All right, so, and I think he went, what was it? He's got 16 hit points there. He's got 15 hit points, and then 14, I think, was on number 1. Yep, so we go 14, 15, 16. All right, so we got 1, 2, 3 for Absorbing Man there. Let's see, we've got None Shall Pass. So it's just a 1A and 1B, and that's it. So Absorbing Man, standard encounter set, 1 modular encounter set, and then discard cards from the encounter deck until an environment is discarded. Put that card into play, and shuffle the encounter deck, the encounter discard pile into the encounter deck. Oh, so interesting. They don't stay out then. It gets folded back into the deck. That's a new setup thing, so that's kind of cool. After resolving step 1 of the villain phase, place 1 delay counter here. When an environment enters play, discard each other environment card in play. All right, so we've got environment stuff going on. When this stage is complete, players lose the game. All right, so it's just a one-shotter, kind of like Rhino. And we go out at 12, so that's a little bit better than Rhino 7, but we don't know what Absorbing Man. Absorbing Man's a really cool character. I like him. All right. Let's see, Dense Forest. So here's our environment. So we've got Dense Forest, which is going to surge. So it's interesting that environment comes out, and then you're going to get another card in addition to it coming out. And as a boost, it's going to come into play. So we have, after Absorbing Man makes an undefended attack against you, take an indirect damage. 2 indirect damage if there are 5 more delay counters on the main scheme. So this is where the delay counters come in. It's like he's building up power if it delays. So in Ice, after Absorbing Man makes an undefended attack against you, place 1 threat on the main scheme. So that was the same for Wood, right? Was 1 threat on the main scheme? No, it was 1 indirect damage. All right, so we've got an indirect damage and then a threat on the main scheme. And then Stone is Absorbing Man makes an undefended attack against you, heal 1 damage from him. 2, there's 5 of those delay counters. The Abandoned Facility is going to do 1 resource icon. Discard 1 resource icon from your hand Ow, 2 resource icons if there are 5 or more. Oh, that's a pretty evil one. All right, so there's both of these villains have a get cards out of your hand thing. Nasty. Oh, we've got his ball and chain. Sweet. Attached to Absorbing Man. Hero action. Spend a physical resource. Shuffle this card into the encounter deck. Oh, so it doesn't go away. It goes back into the deck. Nice. And then boost, it's going to come into play. I like that. +1 scheme, +1 attack. And that's iconic is Absorbing Man's ball and chain. Awesome. Awesome use of that. All right, stall tactics. When revealed, place 1 threat on the main scheme for every 2 delay counters on the main scheme. If no threat was placed this way, this card gains surge. If there are 5 or more delay counters, as a boost, if there are 5 or more delay counters on the main scheme, take 1 indirect damage. So it's interesting in that looking at that, it's like, oh, there's 12 on the main scheme there. It's not all that bad. It's a lot better than Rhino, but I'm seeing a lot of things where you're going to build up delay counters and it's going to make that go pretty fast. All right, so we've got stall tactics. We've got swinging stone. When Absorbing Man, let's see here, alter ego. Absorbing Man schemes. If Absorbing Man has stone trait, he gets +1 scheme. Ooh. So that's like an automatic advance there. And then Absorbing Man attacks you. And he would get +1 attack. Ah, yikes. Is there 2 of those in there? Ah, that's like having 2 more advances in the deck. Well, not necessarily advances. I guess you have to be alter ego in order for that to happen. But man, that's... Yeah. Okay. That's evil. That's a nasty card. All right, Steel Kick. Place 2 threat on the main scheme. Take 3 indirect damage. Wow. He's going to make you not want to go alter ego. When revealed, discard 1 card at random from your hand. If Absorbing Man has the wood trait, discard 1 card you control. If Absorbing Man has stone or wood trait, you are stunned. Man, he is going to mess with you. He's looking pretty rough. Omnimorph Duplication. When revealed, if Absorbing Man has the ice trait, exhaust your identity. Metal trait, give Absorbing Man a tough status card and heal 1 damage. Stone, give Absorbing Man a face down boost card. Or wood, discard a card at random from your hand. Oh man, he's looking pretty annoying. I'm not looking forward to fighting Absorbing Man. He's going to be a challenge. Icy Grip, Treachery. When revealed, you are stunned. If Absorbing Man has ice trait, take 2 indirect damage. So it's not enough that he just straight out stuns you. He's also going to do damage to you potentially. Okay, and as a boost, if he's ice or metal, he's going to get a tough status card. Wow. He's looking like fun. Fun in that annoying... He's going to make me crazy way. So Avalanche, each player must choose to either spend a energy resource or take 2 indirect damage, 3 indirect damage if there's the delay counters out there. Wow. Is there a couple of those? Oh, of course there's a couple of those. All right, there's the super absorbing power that we saw card calling for earlier. So we've got Absorbing Man gains the ice, metal, stone, and wood trait. Okay. So that's, and as a boost, reveal this card. Oh, wow. I don't know what to say about that deck. That looks like it's going to be annoying and fun to play against. Yeah. That looks kind of exciting. So I think Absorbing Man will be an interesting villain to go up against. He's going to be pretty mean. So all those effect cards. And then if you're playing multiplayer, more of that stuff's going to come out quicker. So, wow, that's going to be crazy. Crazy fun, probably. All right, so we've got Taskmaster here. We've got Zola here. We're going through Zola. We'll kick Zola over to... Oop, there's still more Zola. Wow, Zola's got a lot of cards. Zola. And then we get into Red Skull. All right. Actually, what I'm going to do here is, let me open this one. I'm going to cheat a little bit because what I want to do is before we get to Zola, I kind of want to look at some of those modular encounter sets that are there. So here we've got Red Skull, Red Skull, Red Skull, Red Skull stuff. All right, so we got Red Skull. We've got Hydra Assault. We've got Weapons Master. We've got Hydra Patrol. Hydra Patrol. And then we've got some Hydra Campaign stuff, which I don't know anything about. So, how much Hydra Campaign? We've got a bunch of Hydra Campaign. We've got Expert Campaign. So I'm just going to set the campaign stuff off to the side here because I have no idea about the campaign stuff. All right, so let's go through Taskmaster. Then I want to shoot over to those modular encounter sets to take a look at those. All right, so we've got Taskmaster 1, which has 13 hit points. Force response: after a player changes the hero form, they discard the top card of the encounter deck and take damage equal to the number of the boost icons on that card. All right, and he is we go from a 1/2 to a 2/2 to a 3/3. And then he's got 13 hit points and 16 hit points and 17 hit points. All right. I'm trying to think what I think about that ability. It's an annoying ability. I don't know that it's horrible. It's going to kind of depend on what boost icons are in this deck. All right, so at level 2, we've got when revealed, deal each player an encounter card. And we still have that when you change the hero form. Take the top card of the encounter deck and take damage equal to the boost icons. All right, then at level 3, again, everybody's going to get an encounter card, and then after a player changes the hero form, take damage equal to the number of boost icons on the card. So he's pretty consistent through all of the stuff that he has. All right. Let's take a look at, I think we've only got one here, so our main scheme is going to be Taskmaster. Then we want Hydra Patrol in the standard encounter set. And then, so you're going to put the Hydra Patrol in with Taskmaster automatically. And then you put in a standard encounter set, which they recommend Weapon Master. Okay. So each captive ally, set each captive ally aside out of play. Search the encounter deck for Hydra Patrol and put it into play. Shuffle the encounter deck. Set each captive ally aside. So I have no idea what captive allies are. Oh, I'm guessing that's those right there. So the notorious Taskmaster has been appointed Hydra's chief of police. His top priority is hunting down outlaw heroes. After resolving step 1 of the villain phase, each player in hero form must choose to either place 1 threat here or take 1 damage. So we've just got 1 and it goes up to 12. So again, we've got a one-shot scenario thing here. All right, and it says to set the captive allies aside, which looks like these guys right here. So Moon Knight's captive. So how does that work? All right, so they're going to go off to the side there. So it looks like maybe you can get Moon Knight in your deck. Is that how that works? After you play Moon Knight from your hands, spend a resource to draw 2 cards. Wow. And then you've got Shang-Chi, which is a 2/2 for 3. After you play from your hand, spend a energy resource to stun an enemy. Nice. White Tiger. After you play White Tiger from your hands, spend a mental resource, remove 3 threat from a scheme. Nice. And she's got 3 thwart. Wow. That is a nice ally there. Elektra. Ooh, Elektra Assassin, one of my favorite characters. 1 thwart, 3 attack makes sense for Elektra. After you play Elektra from your hand, spend a physical resource, deal 3 damage to an enemy. Yep, because she's pretty bad. She's mean. She's nasty. Yep. There we go. I like that. All right, so we've got a Hydra Hunter He gets piercing and ranged. Wow, with 2. That's pretty good. All right, then we've got another Hydra Hunter. So there's a couple of them. You have Taskmaster Sword attached to the Taskmaster. He's going to gain piercing, exhaust your hero, and spend 2 to discard this card. All right, you get +1 attack, and he's going to get piercing with that out there. It's 3 boost icons. Taskmaster Shield. And it's going to give him Retaliate 1, just like Captain America. And there we go. Exhaust your hero, spend 2 to get rid of it. Again, 3 boost icons. Photographic reflexes. That's kind of what Taskmaster is known for. When a player attacks Taskmaster, prevent all damage to be dealt to the Taskmaster and deal an equal amount of damage to that player's identity instead. Then discard photographic reflexes. Ooh, that's interesting, because then you're going to want to, not hit him with the Hulk. You're going to want to hit him with somebody else that hits light. That's an interesting attack. Maybe hit him with an ally first. Huh. Interesting card. There's a couple of them out there. Mimicry. When revealed, alter ego, discard the top 5 cards of your deck. If a thwart card was discarded in this way, Taskmaster schemes. Nice. Discard the top 5 cards of your deck. If an attack card was discarded this way, Taskmaster attacks you. All right, so he's going to do whatever is based on your deck. That's pretty cool. And on what form you're in. All right, Hunted by Hydra. Incite 1. So when it comes out, you're going to put a threat on the main scheme. And then each player in hero form takes 1 damage and discards 1 card at random from their hand. Ooh. How many of those are there? There's 2 of those. Oh, I really hate discard ones. And, I mean, it's only 1 boost icon, but that effect is super annoying. Wow. It's a bad time to be a hero, Bucky Barnes. I like the quote. Wow. That's annoying treachery. All right. Then we have, are these all? Yep. All right. So I'm going to move these cards out of the way so I can flip these sideways when we take a look at them. All right. Captured by Hydra. When revealed, place 1 random set-aside captive ally face down beneath this scheme. When the scheme is defeated, the player who defeated it takes the ally into their hand and removes the scheme from the game. Aha! Now we know how the captive allies work. All right, so they're set aside and they slot in underneath these. Ah, nice. Okay. I like that. So they've got an acceleration icon and they've got 5 on there, which is not going to be bad in a multiplayer, but single player, that's going to be kind of tough. But those allies are really powerful too. That is way cool. I like that. Nice game mechanic. Kudos to that one. That is going to be fun to play. I'm excited to play that. All right, then we have Taskmaster's Training Camp, which says, after minion enters play, give it a tough status card. Oh, wow. That's pretty cool. Or not cool, I guess. And it's got 3 boost icons. All right. Let's look at the side schemes here. So what did we... There were some... Let's see here. Taskmaster. Let's take a look at Taskmaster. Was supposed to start with, since we just looked at him, he says he's supposed to start with Hydra Patrol, and then it recommends Weapons Master. So let's look at here's Hydra Patrol, and here's Weapon Master. So let's take a look at these 2 and see what we come up with here. So let's take a look at Hydra Patrol first. So we've got a Hydra Regular. That's a new dude. He's got, well, we saw him earlier. He's got Incite 1, just comes out and throws 1 on the main scheme. So we've got 1, 2 of those guys. Hydra Soldiers, which we've seen before. They've got Guard. I think they come with, was Madam Hydra, I think? When defeated, deal the engaged player an encounter card. So we're going to churn that encounter deck. And there's, what, 3 of those? 3 of those. And then Hydra Patrol. So when defeated, each player searches the encounter deck and discard pile for a Hydra minion and puts into play. Engage with them, shuffle the encounter deck. So we've seen that one before, too. All right. So it's kind of like Madam Hydra without the Madam Hydra. All right. And then it says to put Weapons Master in there, which I think, what did Crossbones say? Let's take a look at Crossbones real fast. Crossbones had said, oh, where's Crossbones' main thing? Is it on the bottom? Nope, I lost it. Where'd it go? Where's it at? There we go. So Crossbones was supposed to be experimental weapons, standard encounter set, 3 modular encounter sets, Hydra Patrol, Weapons Master, and Legions of Hydra. All right. So Legions of Hydra is back to our basic set. Am I remembering that correctly? Yeah, so that goes all the way back to, oh, so we're actually bringing Legions of Hydra as the one with Madam Hydra in there. So Weapons Master, oh, wow. Oh, I didn't realize that. So Crossbones is going to want to have Madam Hydra in, oh, wow. Okay, Madam Hydra is kind of annoying by herself, so if they're suggesting she goes in with Crossbones, ouch. Okay. Let's see here. Let's take a look at Weapons Master. So attached to the villain, villain's attack gains piercing, and it's going to give him +1 attack. Then we have Hydra's sidearm. Again, we're getting +1 attack. When the attached villain attacks, the attack gains ranged. All right, Weapons Master Treachery. When revealed, the villain schemes if they have a weapon attachment. Card gains Surge. That's if you're your alter ego, and if you're on hero side, they're going to attack you if they have a weapons attachment, and it's going to surge. So not only do they do the thing that you don't want them to do again, they're going to surge on top of that. Wow. So I guess the good thing is if you have them disarmed when they hit this, if they don't have a weapons card, then it's just going to go away. So really it gives you a whole lot of incentive, because a lot of times you don't want to spend those resources to get rid of those things. You're too busy doing stuff in your hand, but this really gives you a lot of incentive to knock those weapons and attachments off of the villains out there. All right, then we've got a Concussion Grenade. When revealed, alter ego, you are confused. Place a threat on the main scheme. 2 threat if you were already confused. And then when revealed hero, if you are stunned, deal 1 damage to your hero, 2 if you were already stunned. Wow. Okay. That was not too horrible. That's annoying that it does the stun and confuse thing, but. Okay, so Taskmaster, he gets Hydra Patrol and Weapons Master, plus all the kidnapped friendlies, right? So I'm double checking here. Taskmaster standard encounter set, 1 modular. So Taskmaster, Hydra Patrol. So you can get Hydra Patrol, 1 modular encounter set, which they recommend Weapons Master. Plus, you're going to have those allies sitting in there. And then Crossbones is going to get Hydra Regulars, Weapons Master, and Legions of Hydra. I got to double check that. Is that really the way that is? That is crazy. Standard encounter set, 3 modular encounters, Hydra Patrol, Weapons Master, and Legions of Hydra. Hydra Patrol, wow, okay. Well, the good news is that's going to kind of fill his deck up a lot, so there's going to be a lot of cards to go through. But that's pretty rough. And then for Absorbing Man, it's Hydra Patrol. So it's just Absorbing Man and the Hydra Patrol here. So of the ones, so he looked the most annoying. He only gets Hydra Patrol. Crossbones looked tough, but not horrible. But if you throw in Madam Hydra in with Crossbones, oh, that's looking messy. And then you've got Taskmaster is going to get a lot of weapons in his stuff. And the whole hero thing looks really interesting on the side there too. All right. All right, so what I'm actually going to do at this point, I think, is I'm going to stop this video. I'm having some throat issues here that I need to deal with. We'll come back later and we'll do Zola, Red Skull, and take a look through the campaign cards and make that part of a number 2, I think, as we go into that. So I'll put a link at the end of this one to go over to that one, and that will be the continuation of going through Rise of the Red Skull. So I guess if you'd already tuned out because you didn't want to see the villain stuff, then you're not seeing this, so it's not all that big of a deal. The next one, we're going to go through the last couple of villains, and then maybe we'll take a look at the campaign stuff. And if you don't want the campaign stuff, we'll do villains and then campaign stuff. And you can tune out before we get to the campaign stuff. So, all right, cool. That's it for now. I'm going to go get my throat fixed. If you got any comments, let me know what you think about the heroes that are out there. Which one do you prefer? Do you prefer Spider-Woman, or do you prefer Hawkeye? Or do you prefer neither of them and you're just going to take their cards and use them in other decks? What's your favorite card that they have in their decks that are not their cards, ones that are getting added to the pile of stuff? Also, what do you think about bringing in Legions of Hydra? That threw me for a curve. I totally didn't expect that to need to be used in here. I also kind of wanted another standard encounter deck. I wanted this to operate a little bit more independent, but it's really, you got to have the core set in order to play this. So no getting around that. So that's it for now. We'll be back in a little while with part 2 of this, which should wrap it up. And thanks for watching.